All right, guys, how's it going? This will be a bit of a chilled video. I don't think I'm very hyper today. I was thinking about Palhinha at Fulham and how quiet his situation appears to be at the moment. Looked nailed on to going to Germany at one time. And that situation appeared to be linked to the Andre situation as well. Which Liverpool's interest in Andre is supposed to have just stopped, just like that, which I've discussed a few times, as to what that could be, but for me, that would suggest that Liverpool are looking at someone else, or someone became available, or something that they thought they couldn't do, they were suddenly told, actually, it's possible. Now, with Andre, we know that he's available in January. So I feel, and this is me this is just going with intuition or just thinking about things. Nobody said anything about it. I feel like that Liverpool know they can get him in January, stacked, they could get him if they want him, but can we manage until the summer for this other player maybe, if he even exists? But I've just been thinking, I've been sat here today, I'm just chewing over everything. When I record videos for you guys and I say things, when I've uploaded the videos, I think about what I've said, because sometimes when I'm talking in real time like this, things come to mind, or after you've stopped recording and that. And I was just thinking about the Palhinha situation. Obviously, he should figure this evening. Now, without going, I don't like talking about the members' website too much because I'm always conscious that people think I'm probably trying to flog that to you. I don't do that. People that are on the members' website do so because they want to support me or they're in a position to do so. It's the best way of supporting me. So I'm always conscious of appearing to maybe be doing that. But I posted on there earlier, and the last update on this was early January to do with on this Palhinha thing. And I'll read you word for word the last thing I contributed on there. And I put, he has been considered, but obviously his age and cost makes the internal endorsements or backing harder to justify investment. I am watching what happens with him. I know I'm supposed to rule him out, but I can't at the moment. And I've just been thinking about that, obviously his age, he's 27. And is he 27? I think he might, he's 27, I'm sure, and I think he turns 28 in July. I like to check these things. No, he's 28. Obviously, it makes it even worse. He's 28. Is he really? I thought he was 27. So you can kind of understand. He falls outside that ideal age at Liverpool, but age is depending on valuation as well. Because if a player is 28, but his asking price isn't too much, then you can kind of justify it. But if he's 28 and they're wanting excessive amounts of money, then you can see why collectively within the club, even the manager would say, yeah, if we're going to be paying that sort of money, we want to be snapping up a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, something like that. I think the player himself is holding out to stay in the Premier League. I don't think he wants to move to Germany. I think he wants to stay in England. And I think Liverpool would be an ideal move for him. But I'm not really sure if I'm up to date on valuations for him because I haven't really been tracking anything to do with him. I focused more on Andre because I thought that it was kind of looking promising, or that Palhinha would go to Germany. But none of it's happened yet. And I think I feel like it's all linked. Now, what I've been saying in a few of my videos is, yeah, it's quiet at the moment, which I think is good. And sometimes people, I'm going to rephrase it. Sometimes people maybe think, I'm always waiting for a credible journalist to come out and say something positive. But when a credible journalist or someone I listen to comes out and denies something, sometimes that makes me think something's going on here. Because Liverpool Football Club traditionally don't really respond to transfer speculation. Like, well, there's no truth in it. Why do we even have to fucking deny it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And Palhinha, I was thinking about this earlier, Palhinha is the only link I can think of, unless I'm missing something, since like the November period, because like usually I always say from around the third week of November, that's when you start to see a bit of credible transfer chatter. The only player that I've seen as linked with intel or comment from within the club, like people saying in the club, and then being denied, is Palhinha. And sometimes when someone denies something, like I used to think when I was younger as a football fan, if someone denied something, I was like, oh, there we go, it must be true then. But sometimes I deny, to throw people off. I think if he was, say, 25, I think we'd go for him this month. But even I'm struggling to think that we would go for him at 28, turning 29 soon, at that amount of money. And it sounds like to me that there has been discussions within the club from the people that make transfers, including the manager. And I'll repeat back to you what I said. He has been considered, but obviously his age and cost makes the internal endorsements stroke backing harder to justify investment. I'm watching what happens with him. I know I'm supposed to rule him out, but I can't at the moment. Like everything says, he falls, outside what we'd normally do, but there's still that part of me that's thinking, why is now happening anywhere with it? Why is Andre not on the move? Why is Palhinha not gone? So really, before I started recording this video, I've been sat here thinking, could Liverpool surprise us with it? And yeah, they could, but every part of me is trying to resist that idea. But the Palhinha stuff is interesting, I think. I know sometimes I make my videos and maybe you can't tap into what I'm trying to say. I'll be honest with you, I think at the moment it's a very confusing period. It's a very confusing period. But that's good, because that means the club are operating without leaks, without playing a game, not having to use the media to help them. So whatever is happening behind the scenes is going well, I would imagine, whatever's happening. You could look at it another way and say that we're not hearing anything, there's nothing happening, Dunk. And then you think about that, don't you? And you think we're doing all right. You can imagine the owners saying, are you sure you can't get us through to the summer? Do you really want to spend that money now, Jurgen? Because you won't get it in the summer if you spend it now, that kind of thing, So I like the confusion of it all. I like to think. And that's why I'm thinking about Palhinha today. Just seems a bit odd. Great player. And I see in comparison, Andre is 22. 22 years of age, 6 years younger and half of the price. So why is nothing happening? Andre probably doesn't go to Fulham unless Palhinha leaves to go to Germany. Liverpool don't have to worry about losing Andre because there's no opening for him at Fulham at the moment, which would explain why Liverpool are comfortable saying, no, we're just leaving there. Palhinha leaves, or looks like he's going to leave elsewhere, and Liverpool have to make a decision. So if it's not Palhinha and it's not Andre, who the fuck is it? Do I have a life? All I do is sit around fucking thinking about this shit all day long. Dear me, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Would I have it any other way? I don't know, I don't think I would. Who the fuck is it? Is it Manu Kone that we're hearing his name again, aren't we? Summer Kone. Endo gets you through to the summer. Bit of a gamble. And we've got all these injuries. Players missing. That injury to Trent could affect things. And, you know, it can be a different position, but it can affect because they might then go and focus on someone in defence or something and then go, well, we can't do that at all. You know, like we're sat here between us going, oh, I don't know what to fucking say. It makes you wonder if they're sat at Anfield, you know, at Liverpool, sat exactly the same, sat there going, what should we do? So I don't fucking know. Gamble, innit? Should we go for him? Don't know, but what about him? It has to happen. I think people think that buying, you know, a footballer is just, I think it's like Championship Manager or something like that, whatever it's fucking called now, Football Manager. All the questions we have as football supporters, they have as well. They're just the ones that make the decisions. So if we put 3 or 4 of us in a room, we're going to have different ideas, aren't we? And some people will be more cautious. Some people will be more like me. I'm a gambler, you know. I'm like, fuck it, let's take it, go for it. Some people will be more like, no, Duncan, just let's calm down. Let's think about it a minute. And there will be those kind of personalities within the club. As Rafa Benitez would say, club, yeah, for sure. Do you know what I mean? So they'll be sat there going, well, what should we fucking do then? And maybe they're just sat there now going, not sure yet. Let's see how we get on against Fulham. And then if Palhinha plays a blinder, maybe someone goes, you know what, fuck it, should we do it? I mean, if you look at Caicedo, nobody expected that fucking bid to go in. Oh, I know, it was all a pretend. There's something not right at the moment for me with it all. And I don't know what it is. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not an ITK. And at some point a penny will drop or something will happen, we'll all go, if I said to you now, what position would you like to see straight? You know, and let's say some of you would say, I've seen this in the comments, so I know I can answer this for some of you. Some of you said we need a defensive midfielder and a centre-back. And then some have mentioned other positions in defence, and obviously we've got the injury to Trent and all that. But if you're one of those people that said centre-back and a defensive midfielder, and you had to make that decision now, which one would you opt for? Which one would you say, right, we need to do that? Because there's players that have been providing cover or have been stepping up that have done all right. And we've seen the youngsters as well. I'm not sure that's a long-term solution, though, you know, for a team that is chasing Premier League title and other competitions. I've got to be honest, if I was the manager right now, I would be struggling to, if I had X amount of pounds, you know, am I going to blow it on that, or am I going to blow it on that? Because on those positions, because you're going to be thinking, well, can I get to the summer? Can I do it? Can he do the job? And then the players that had to go away in January don't fucking help the situation, does it? The decisions that you're making, because the decisions you're making are long-term decisions. Then players are going to come back. Like people say, oh, Mo Salah's going away in January, so who are we going to bring in? And it's like, well, you can't just go and bring in another Mo Salah for a few weeks. It's quite a complex situation, I think, and probably one of the most complex I've seen at Liverpool for a long time. Again, you maybe don't, you know, I know I don't explain myself very well sometimes. But what I mean is there's so many different things up in the air. We've got players that are missing in January. You know, Endo has come in and performed above what many people expected, but now he's gone, which don't help. But he's coming back. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to get someone to cover for Endo when you know he's coming back in a few weeks. Can you grind it out? I don't think I'd want to be spending my budget on quick options, quick solutions, when you know that might affect your summer budget. So you've got players away in January, you've got players that are injured now, so many players unavailable basically for Liverpool at the moment, and then you know even when they're all available, you still need to shore up other positions. And then you've got key decisions looming, like Mo Salah. What's going to happen with Mo Salah? Because if Mo Salah's off, you really need to start thinking about who's going to replace him. And that's a whole different fucking conversation. Do you know what I'd keep an eye on? I've just got an email saying my statement's ready. How lovely. Basically, that means I owe money to some fucking financial institution. Some of these fucking websites for adverts, seriously. Jared Bowen, he's someone that I'd be thinking about this summer, but again, I don't know. It's exciting. I don't know. It's frustrating and exciting at the same time. I can't remember what the video was about. The video was about Palhinha. Could Liverpool make a move for him, really, is what I'm saying. And everything says no because of his age and valuation. And it would be common sense to get Andre at half that price and much younger. But why are Liverpool in no rush to do it? And that's the bit we can't answer. None of us have been able to come up with the answers. So there's something missing that we're all missing, you and me. I love it, man. I've got to be honest, I do like trying to work it out. The funny thing is, I stop this video now, you carry on, you do your day, I do my day. But I will literally pace my house all night. I'll be sat there having my tea at lounge watching some shite on TV and I'll be thinking, what the fuck's going on? I really do welcome your thoughts. We have to work this one out, guys. Palhinha, could you see that happening? Could you see that happening? Or are you on the same wavelength as me? It was like, If he was a little bit younger, Dunk, yeah, I could. But I'm not sure that they'd back it at his age. They're not going to pay that. They're not going to pay them figures at that age. I can't see that at all. But if we had different owners, he'd be exactly the kind of player that would be a fucking amazing signing. The only link that's been denied is Palhinha. What are they denying that for if it's so obvious that we'd never sign him? Why did they deny that? And then Andre. Everyone says Andre's, oh, we're not interested in him anymore, but why? I'm leaving the door open, me. I ain't seen a fucking thing in news about him. What's happened? Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, all that chatter about Andre this, Andre that, talks here, Liverpool out there, president running his mouth. Fucking nothing now. Something's happened somewhere. They said Fulham, but there's no sign of that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll fucking see. Something's happening. Have you ever seen the journalists so quiet? It's a transfer window. I'll leave it with you.